All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to send all praises and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Bakar, Kadash, Barak, Athar. This is your brother, Kabas, coming at you in downtown Fort Lauderdale, in the one of the chief places of concourse. Lord willing, I'm going to let the Lord use me as a vessel and bring out some things in scriptures. All right, today I want to get into who are the real Hebrew Israelites, okay? I have some scriptures written down here. Now, you can go to the book of Deuteronomy in 28 that proves who the real Hebrew Israelites are, okay? Go to the book of Deuteronomy, and the curses in Deuteronomy 28 describe, well, they talk about the curses of the Hebrew Israelites, okay? And then when you get into it, you read some of those curses, you can tell it pertains to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. Okay? All right? So let me bring out some scriptures. Okay? All right, now we're going to start in the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah 7, chapter 7, verse 23. Okay, it says, "But this thing command I them, saying, Obey my voice, and I will be your God, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways I commanded you, that it may be well with you." Okay? All right? Now, if you also go to, we're going to go through some of the curses in Deuteronomy 28 that actually, you know, get into the punishments of the Israelites. Okay? All right? Now, okay, let's get into Deuteronomy chapter 28. Okay, let's start in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 19. "Cursed shall thou be when you comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out." Okay? Now, who does that pertain to? Okay? It doesn't pertain to a so-called Caucasian or heathen. Okay? It pertains to a so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, especially you Negroes. All right? We don't know, when we go to work, we don't know if we're coming back home. You know, we may get pulled over by a police officer. You know, he may have a probable cause just to shoot us. You know? So cursed, it says cursed shall be when thou comest in, cursed shall be when thou goest out. When you go to work, you know, when you leave work, you go into the grocery store, you know, you walking down the street, you know, it doesn't pertain to these so-called Jews that are in these synagogues. Everywhere they go, they get blessed. You know, people, somebody tells them they're Jewish, like, "Oh, wow, you Jewish? Oh, I'm so sorry about the Holocaust." Yeah, you so sorry about the Holocaust? Yeah, what did they do to black babies, man? They used black babies as an alligator gate back in the day. But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. But yeah, you talk about the Jews who were in the Holocaust. They have museums and stuff like that. But what about the black babies that were fed by alligators? You know? Nobody talks about that, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 21. "The Lord shall make thee pestilence, and cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from the land, whither thou goest, possesses it." Okay? All right, now when you go into that word pestilence, it means plagues, disease. Okay? All right? When you get into, you know, a lot of, especially Negroes, are infected with the HIV virus. Okay? A lot of so-called Negroes have heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in America today. Not everybody has it now. Not just so-called blacks and Native Americans and Hispanics. Everybody has heart disease now. Okay? So pestilence is one of the plagues, is one of the curses that is bestowed on the real people of Israel. On the people of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay? But you people don't see that. Y'all don't see it. You're eating pork. You're eating abominational food. You're eating crab. Okay? But yet when you go to church, the preacher tells you sweet things, man. You know? A brother put up on Instagram that sugarcoat ministry is dangerous. It is dangerous. Because you can die by that, man. You can die by listening to that, man. Oprah Winfrey, Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes. Sugarcoat that stuff, man. They sugarcoat the ministry. They don't tell you the truth. The Abishai said in the book of, I think the book of Matthew, the truth shall set you free. But you're so bound up in that sugarcoat ministry, man. You don't know what's going on. You know, the minister got you bound. Eating pork, eating shrimp, all those abominations, clams, all that stuff, man. You Israelites need to wake up. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to wake up to this truth. This is your history. This is your history. But yeah, man, there's a lot of, I forgot, I had some stuff written down. I didn't bring the, but when you go, let's see how many African Americans are infected with the HIV virus. Okay? And now you got that virus, I forgot what it's called, that new virus from Asia, whatever it is, I forgot. That's coming here. And it's getting everybody right now. You know? Well, not everybody, but, you know, you had some people that were Americans that were affected by the virus. I don't know how many people were, but all right. All right, I put in how many blacks, how many so-called black Americans have the HIV virus. Okay, it didn't really give me a number. But the majority of black males who have the HIV virus are homosexuals. Okay? It says 80% of the men, well, this is a pie graph right here. You can see it, that's a pie graph right there. Male-to-male sexual contact, 80%. Okay? Heterosexual, 14%. Okay? Then it says in injunction drug use 4%. But yeah, man, our people. Let me see. Okay, here's a number. It says new HIV diagnosis in the U.S. and dependent areas for most affected subpopulation. This is 2019. Black African American, 9,499. Okay. And that's male to male. And for Hispanic and Latino male to male, there are 7,543 cases, which is probably more than that. You probably got that amount of people who have the HIV virus here in South Florida. Then, you know, but that you know, that's what Esau tells us. But I just wanted to make, just to, bring that out. Pestilence, man. Disease, plagues. Those are one of the plagues that are placed on our people. And that's how you can tell how we are the real Hebrew Israelites. By the curses. All right? The curses in Deuteronomy. All right? All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 28, chapter 23. And thy heaven is over thy head, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under shall be iron. Okay? Think about that. When you get in the hood, sometimes it's hard to get out the hood. You got certain schools in the hood that don't give you the decent education, that give you the education that you need to get a job, man. They've, oh,
yeah, right. I'll step in and say, yeah,
Oh, okay, thanks, man. How you doing? All right.
Absolutely right, man. This brother right here,
okay,
he's speaking absolutely.
Okay, this is the altar brother. You got me.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
I'll pray for you. What's your name?
Benny.
Benny?
Yeah.
Okay, you're an Israelite. What's your nationality?
Oh, well, right now, to be honest with you, I'm still trying to discover.
Hey, where your family from?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, so you Black American, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you tribe of Judah.
Okay.
Okay, so look that information up, tribe of Judah.
Okay.
We didn't hear Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, man.
All right, Ben. Take it easy, man. All right, bro. All right, man. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 23. And thy heaven is over thy head. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass. And the earth that is under shall be iron. Okay? Now listen. You have the ghettos today, man. You got the prison system. You got the financial system. Okay? All right? Esau thrives on these ghettos, man. He puts drugs in the ghettos. He puts drugs in the ghettos because he knows if he puts drugs in the ghettos, he's going to send the men to jail. All right? And you got a lot of private prison systems nowadays. All right? And some of these private prison companies want to keep these jails full. When you get into that judicial system, it's hard to get out, man. It's hard to get a job, man. Everywhere you go, you stuck between a rock and a hard place, man. And Esau knows that. That's one way that he can keep you down. All right? Look at the schools. You don't have proper schools in the hood, man. Nobody wants to work in the schools in the hood. Why? Because the kids act mean. They bad. The father's in jail. The mama's working 12 hours a day. She got to travel probably like 2 hours away just to find work. Leaving the kid to fend for his own. The kid has to fend for himself or herself. The street's going to be their teacher. They going to get put through the system. Yeah, man. And all these financial loan places too, man. Jake go to work. He an inmate, so he can't get a proper banking account, or because his credit's bad or whatever. He has to go to the check cashing store. Check cashing store gonna take like maybe $20 out of his check, just to cash it. Then Jake gotta have cash. Sometimes because of other financial situations. It's bad, man. All right. Yeah, bad schools, the ghetto. Yeah, man. The prison system. The check cashing stores, man. These some of these credit card companies, man. This I know what's his name? Russell Simmons came out with a credit card. It was on BET a long time ago. Something like that. But every time you put money on the card or you take money out, they charge you or something like that, man. And that allows Jake to get overdrawn. And another thing, when you overdraw your account at some of these banks, you know, they take a whole bunch, they mess up your check. You know, it's messed up, man. This system is messed up. All right, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray from them. Okay? Now, I got an article in my, well, actually, I was going into how the so-called slaves, well, the Negro slaves, babies were used as alligator bait during the times of slavery. Okay, let me bring out a. Okay, it says alligator bait. Alligator hunting was very profitable in the 18 through 1900s. The skins were used to make shoes, bags, belts, and other items. However, white hunters often lost their arms and sometimes their lives as they rustled the swampy waters of the night, attempting to attract alligators to the surface. So they decided to use slave babies as bait. This horrendous act was later characterized in sheet of music, postcards, and figurines. So Esau glorified that, man, having so-called Negro babies being used as bait. But, you know, in scriptures, it talks about that, man. Let me finish this article. This horrendous act was later characterized in sheet music, postcards, and figurines. Years later, a candy manufacturer of black licorice drops created a disrespectful advertisement that featured a hungry-looking alligator leering at a bug-eyed black baby. The ad read, "A dainty little morsel." For decades, this popular candy was preferred as nigger babies. The name was later changed to Nibs and is still on the market today. Okay? So those Twizzlers that you eat, you know, hey, they got their name from Nibs, which goes back to the so-called black babies that were used for bait. Okay? They don't tell you this. And it says at the bottom, least we forget Black Holocaust Museum. Okay? But yeah, the so-called Jews today, that, you know, whatever, the Holocaust with them, everybody remembers that. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, man, you were put in ovens. Oh, man, gas. And all that. But nobody wants to bring this article out right here. Nobody wants to bring this out. You can see the article right there. It says alligator bait. You can go on Google and look it up. But yeah, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how the so-called black man's rod was cut off, castrated. Okay? Our women were raped. Nobody talks about that. In schools, they just tell you, oh, there were slaves and all that. You know, and then they try to sugarcoat that as well. Well, what did the slave masters do to their slaves? What kind of treatment did they endure? What type of real treatment did they endure? Oh, no, nobody wants to talk about that stuff. But yeah, you want to talk about the so-called Jews that are in Israel today. You want to make museums and say, oh my gosh, that was terrible. You know what? You wicked. Y'all gonna pay for that. That's all I got to say, man. Esau, Edom, you gonna pay for that. Your time's coming. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 27. The Lord will smite thee with the buck of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Okay? Now, when you go into that word botch, it's like a boil, inflamed spot, inflammation. Okay? And you get a lot of these allergic reactions by eating these abominable foods like clams, shrimp, pork. Okay? If you people would stop eating those things, you would not have, well, you might get sick anyway, you know, because we're under the curses anyway. But if you would stop eating those abominable foods, it could help you. But no, you don't want to listen. You still want to eat those abominable foods. The Most High told us what foods to eat. Okay? So these medical conditions that we have, you know, it's because we're under the curses. All right? When you go to emerods, a tumor in the anus, they are hemorrhoids, swollen and inflamed veins in the rectum and anus that cause discomfort and bleeding, usually caused from straining during bowel movements, obesity, and pregnancy. Okay? Now, why do you get those things? Hey, first of all, we're under the curses, and also the majority of the reason is why you get those certain health conditions and afflictions is because you eat the wrong stuff. All right? Eating too much processed food. Eating abominable foods. You know? Our bodies wasn't created to eat clams. Our body was not created to eat lobster, shrimp. At the end of the day, everything is defiled. You know? But if you would take a step and, you know, observe the law, statutes, and commandments and see, okay, I can eat this, I can eat that, you know? But you people won't do that. Nah, you're just going to go out and eat abominable food. But, you know, that's all right. That's why you Israelites today are under those curses. Because you don't hearken to the dietary laws. And that's why you have these diseases right now. You know, and some people are born with it, you know. All right. I wanted to get into something else. Hold on one second. All right, let's go into Deuteronomy. Let's go into the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 28. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Okay? Now you see a lot of Jake around here who are bugged out, just walking around talking to themselves. You know? They have a lot of Jake have mental disease. Let me see. We're going to look up how many Jakes suffer from mental illness. suffer from mental illness. Sorry about that, my phone's taking a long time.
No, actually I'm not. I'm going to the top. I'm going to the top.
Okay, it says, in the African American community, many people misunderstand what a mental health condition is and don't talk about this topic. This lack of knowledge leads to many to believe that a mentally health condition is a personal weakness or something sort of punishment from Yahweh. It is a punishment from Yahweh. It is a punishment. I'll read it again. It says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And they said, this lack of knowledge leads to many believe that a mental health condition is a personal weakness or some sort of punishment from Yahweh. It is a punishment from Yahweh. African Americans may be reluctant to discuss mental health issues, to seek treatment because of the shame and stigma associated with the conditions. And this is only for the so-called Negro. I ain't getting to the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. I know Native Americans, they bugged out. They in trailer parks drinking, you know, they alcohol abuse, domestic abuse. It's with all the tribes, all that. But I'm just going into the so-called Negroes right now. Many African Americans have trouble recognizing the signs and symptoms of mental conditions, leading to the understanding the effects of impact of mental conditions. Some may think of depression as the blues, something to snap out of. Okay, and that goes into what's it called? Astonishment of the heart. Okay, now let's go into the blue letter. All right, and let's actually look up that word astonishment. I should have looked that word up, but I didn't. What's that? Deuteronomy. All right, let me put this down. Deuteronomy 28. Oh man, this wind is killing me out here, but it's all right. This word's still gonna go out. Deuteronomy. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Okay, let's go into our word madness. Oh, Salaki. Let's go into that word, wait a minute, 28. Okay, astonishment. Okay, astonishment, bewildered. Was it bewilderment? Stupefaction. Let me go into the Google. so we can get like a more plain. All right, astonishment. Okay, astonish. It means surprise, impress greatly. Okay. Okay. Yo, man. You know, things pop up, man. When you go into that word astonish, it just means surprise. Surprise, basically. Okay. A lot of things happen to Jake unexpectedly, man. You know, a new landlord may come in. A guy told me the other day when I was transporting him. He was paying rent for like, I forgot how many years he told me. He was paying like $750. A Edomite, well, I don't know if it was an Edomite, but it was somebody who bought his building, and the rent got jacked up to like $1,000 a month, and he couldn't pay it. He's on disability. You know, he's under the curses. He was smite with blindness. You know. I don't know if he was born like that. I think, you know, when he was younger, he could see, but yeah, man, that's an astonishment of the heart. Unexpected payments and stuff like that. Your rent getting jacked up, you know, money getting taken away from your account because you overdraft, you know, unexpected things, you know. Astonishment of the heart, you know. Okay. Let me see. There's something else here. All right, let me go into Deuteronomy 29.